Hello and welcome back to Mental Health Toolkit. I'm Annie and I'm going to talk you through a skill today to help you in a time of high distress or overwhelm or upset. So I have another video that I talk you through a hand model of the brain that talks you through what the brainstem does, what our limbic system does, and what our cortex area, our upstairs brain does. So we have our downstairs and our upstairs brain for short. And so I would encourage you to watch that other video about the triune brain, the hand model of the brain, so that you can have a sense of what I'm referring to here. But you can still watch this video very easily and learn a new skill. So this skill, it's called Improve the Moment, comes from Lane Peterson's book, The Expanded Dialectical Behavior Therapy Skills Training Manual. And Improve the Moment comes from a category of skills from a therapy model called Dialectical Behavior Therapy, where it's a skill category that addresses moments where you aren't able to solve the problem either at all or right away, and so you need some other options. So typically we ask ourselves 3 questions to see, do I need to use skills to help manage our distress? The first one is, am I able to solve this problem? So if you are in a situation, something like there's a spill in the kitchen and you're fairly calm and it's upsetting, but you're okay and you know how to clean it up, then the answer is yes, and you solve the problem and you move on. But if you feel like you can't, or maybe you're too overwhelmed or upset because so many things have gone poorly during your day, and it's another mess to clean up and you are just at your wit's end, you might need to use distress tolerance. The second question is it an okay time to solve the problem? So that is referring to something like getting in a car accident, and you might need to solve some of the problem in that moment, but some of it won't get resolved until you talk with your insurance company and you make other calls, and that's going to have to happen a different day or a different time. And so you might be able to solve part of the problem, but not all of it. And then number 3 is, am I in wise mind enough to solve the problem? I have a video on what wise mind means, so feel free to watch that video to get a little more information about what that question is asking. So let me talk through this skill called Improve the Moment. This is when you can't solve the problem, or you maybe can't solve it in this moment, or maybe you're not in awareness and control enough of your emotions that you need a minute to do some things first before you try to engage and solve this problem. So it could be an upsetting argument, it could be a really big mess that you walk in on, it could be a really bad car accident, it could be you just found out news that's really upsetting, something like that you just need to take a minute or a few minutes. So Improve is an acronym for 7 different strategies you can try. The I stands for imagery. This is where you imagine a place that's beautiful, that is comforting, that's relaxing, or that's safe for you to kind of escape to in your mind for a few minutes. My place is a place in Mexico that I traveled to with my husband for our 10-year anniversary a couple years ago. And it was beautiful, it was hot, it was sunny, it was gorgeous beaches, gorgeous water, fun snorkeling that we got to do. And so I can kind of escape to that place in my head, even though I can't visit there, and remember what that was like. And it helps calm my body just imagining it. You can engage in meaning making with the M of Improve. So what's the meaning here? Yes, you can validate the negative experience of what's happening, but what opportunity do you have in this moment? P stands for prayer. You might pray to your higher power, to God, to Jesus, or you might pray or talk to somebody maybe in your life who's passed away, but who is a wisdom figure for you, to process what's happening, to ask for wisdom, for calm, for peace, for patience in this moment. The R of Improve stands for relaxation. You might need to take a few minutes to take some deep breaths, engage in square breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. I have a video on what square breathing means, so feel free to take a look at that. The O stands for one thing or one step at a time. When my sister comes to visit, I often hear her say, I can only do one thing at a time. And I use that all the time now, especially in my parenting, or when I'm piling work for myself. I have to go back to, I can only do one thing at a time in this moment. So when you feel like you can maybe hang in there in a difficult moment, but all you can do is sit down, or all you can do is get a drink of water for a minute, or all you can do is say, I'm going to try to listen, or I'm really upset right now, but I'm going to try to stay here, right? Whatever you can do, just one thing in that moment to help you. V in improve stands for vacation. So we're not necessarily talking about a vacation to Mexico or to a beach or to a beautiful new country, but we are talking about taking a break. So that may be take a step outside, take a minute in a safe room in your house, go for a car ride for a little bit. Just take a break away from what's happening in this moment if you just need a few minutes. And then finally we get to E, which stands for encouragement, encouraging yourself. So I have a video on self-compassion, and that fits really well with this piece of encouragement. What Kristen Neff through self-compassion tells us is we need to ask ourselves, what would we say to a good friend if they were going through this? So affirm yourself, give yourself some encouragement. Again, you don't have to remember this whole acronym, but one of those words, one of those practices may stand out for you when you're feeling overwhelmed and you just need a minute. In all of this practice, remember to be kind to yourself.